If you're listening to this episode, I bet you're wondering what behaviors you're doing that keep you from getting your needs met and ending up in situationship after situationship. I got you. I've created a situationship quiz and I'm so excited about it. Take the quiz to discover more behaviors and more tips for navigating situationships, because I know you're in more than one right now. No judgment, boo-boo. I used to have 5 situationships at a time. Yes. So you're not alone. You can find the quiz at www.dontea.co/quiz. That's DONTEA.co/quiz. I'll drop it in the show notes as well. Okay, back to the episode. Why is figuring out who you are important? Well, mainly so others don't impose their own values and truths on you that do not fit you. Hi, loves. I'm Dontea Mitchell-Hunter, your new fave self-worth therapist, and this is Detox Therapy. Quick note, even though I'm a fully licensed therapist, this show is not a replacement for therapy. If you find yourself needing a therapist, definitely search for one in your area. Now, if you want to work with me though, and you live in Washington, Georgia, or DC, then please go to my website at soireesintherapy.com and book your free 15-minute consultation. Welcome back, loves. Question. Do you ever find yourself constantly being treated with disrespect? People telling you what to do and get mad when you don't follow their advice? Not understanding why people just can't understand you and confused why they just don't get it? And better yet, why haven't people figured out how to read your mind? I know the feeling. It's frustrating when people just don't understand you. So what do you do? What do we do? You might ice them out or just walk around with anger and resentment anytime you're around them and then pretend like everything is fine. Well, I know how exhausting this can be, and let me tell you one of the reasons why this may be happening. It's because people just don't know your boundaries, your expectations, your values, and your desires. Here's a real fascinating spin. You probably don't know your boundaries, expectations, values, and desires, which is a part of what makes you, you. Why is figuring out who you are important? Well, mainly so others don't impose their own values and truths on you that do not fit you. When we let others lead us without questioning who we are, what we stand for, what we do not tolerate, you will literally just be a blind pony walking behind someone who may not have the best intentions for you. Let me explain this. Because you haven't really asked yourself if you want children or not, you may find yourself pregnant and secretly hating the experience because you actually don't want to be a mom. You don't want to parent. And now we are going to be responsible for this living, breathing human who will need so much from you. You may be neck deep in debt because you were told to buy a house, because it's an investment. However, maybe your truth is to not be connected to a home. Maybe your truth is living a nomad life. Maybe traveling the world and always paying rent is your truth. Living a full version of yourself is tiring. You know how exhausting it is to be who someone else wants you to be at every moment of your life? Woo! Talk about anger, depression, and resentment. I've been there though. So let me share another work story. I was working at a job way longer than I needed to. Actually, 6 months longer than I needed to. I stayed because growing up, people didn't leave jobs, right? You get a job, you work your way up, and you retire from that job. Done. Check, check, check. So when I found myself thinking about leaving because it was beyond stressful working there, I did what others suggested and what others thought I should do, which is work it out, leave the job site for lunch, work out, eat healthier, and get more sleep. Just don't leave the job. All of these tips serve their own function separately. However, none of it resolved the problem of me not enjoying the job and wanting to leave for hopes of something better. Like none of it took care of that like agony, right? Of being in the job, being there, getting dressed, driving there, parking, going to my office, sitting there. I mean, all the emails, all of it, right? So you can probably guess how this story ends. It led to me reaching a ceiling of advancements, bitching about the job any chance I got, and eventually 4 years later, crying at my desk while typing a document. Crying at work. I never thought I'd see the day that I'm crying at work. Like, what? So here's the thing. I don't want you to be in something so long that it leads to you feeling crippled, stuck, crying at work, constantly crying in a relationship, and going along with things because your partner says this is what we will do and what we should do. This includes situationships too. So like, if you are offended by something your partner did and you say, I don't like that you did that. This includes family too. Family's always included in relationships. And you say, I don't like that you did that. And they say, oh, that's nothing to be upset about. In that moment, you can either figure out how you want to engage in this moment of two different truths, right? We're both coming at this situation having two different ideas of how it should be resolved, right? Or what's going down. Or do you go along with what your partner is telling you who to be, being someone who ignores their feelings and drops the situation because they were told to? Like, figure out how we want to be in this moment. Who are you? Or are you someone that uses her voice to gain clarity and to have her feelings heard with the expectations that a problem will be resolved? Does that make sense? Figuring out who you are is not a one-stop shop. The journey is forever long. The bigger question is, when are you going to start your journey? Oh, you ready now? Okay, well, let me share some ways to help you start the journey. Practice checking in with yourself. When you get the idea to leave a job, get married, stay single, having a child, traveling the world for 2 years before settling into a home of your own, first, ask yourself what you want. And even go as far as asking yourself how this would be ideal for you, your desires, your values, your goals, and dreams. Get clear about that first. So again, step one is checking in with yourself first. By asking yourself first, you remain the leader in your life, and all advice that follows comes second. When we ask others their opinions before we ask ourselves, what you're really doing is sending a message to your inner self to not trust yourself. And the only way to make a decision is to have others tell you what to do. So like, this was the way of the world when you were a child. However, now you are an adult, and adults make their own choices. Then you get advice from trusted individuals by not staying in a child position and have others tell you what to do. Right? So there's an adult way of going about making decisions, and there's this child position where as children, you are told what to do. Now, of course, there is room for advice for people who understand your goals, values, and desires, and can help you look at your plans in a more rounded way. It is very different when you go to someone and say, do you think I should travel the world? And they say, based on their own positioning in the world, no, it's dangerous to travel alone. What if something happens? And boom, just like that, your exciting idea to travel the world leaves as quickly as it entered. So remember, the best way to figure out who you are is to literally ask yourself, who am I? What do I stand for? What do I enjoy? What do I not enjoy? And so on. And then I want you to start living your life based on these answers. If you know you don't like being told how to feel or to be silenced, then speak up and let the person know how you feel. And that you don't appreciate them telling you how to feel from here on out. Okay, you got this. The world deserves to meet the real you. And you deserve to meet the real you. And you deserve to live a real life that serves you. Not one that was pressured onto you. Okay? Until next time. Thank you, loves, for listening to this week's episode. If you're enjoying the show, it'd be really great if you could please rate and review. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Soirees in Therapy. To learn more about the services I offer, visit soireesintherapy.com. If you've got a question you'd like me to answer, please send your question to Dantea at soireesintherapy.com. The answer might just become an episode.